supposed to be say a 10-15 minute journey is currently lingering at the half an hour mark, because every 2 minutes these guys decide to stop right in the middle of the road. We've been enjoying ourselves very much sat in traffic, looking at the ILS and the Cornwall Spaceport.
Not only do these homes ruin the countryside, they cause traffic jams.
Whereas this home can be moved out of the way.
Anyway, at a moment's notice, like that.
Action.
We're at Watergate Bay. We've arrived in Newquay this morning to have a night in a hotel tonight. Then when we got there, we realised that we've actually walked a section that we were going to double walk today. So we're not doing that. But we had to get a bus from Newquay to Watergate Bay, and then from Watergate Bay we're walking to somewhere else. Porthcothan. We're walking to Porthcothan there. So it'll be about a 4.5, 5, 6 mile or something like that.
No.
Vaguely like that. But the good thing is that we've got we're all assorted for accommodation at the hotel.
Yeah. How many times did you crash into the wall?
Only once, when I took my foot off the clutch while I was still in reverse, but there was no major damage was done to either wall or van.
You went so many years without crashing it.
It's all going downhill from now on. But yeah, so we've got a relatively easy day, probably 4 or 5 hours worth of walking, and then a night in a hotel with comfy bed, even for Charlie, instead of sleeping on the floor in the van.
I can't wait. Hello, just thought we'd do a little cutaway. But that's where Ollie had his cup of coffee several months ago, and where Dad shouted off to all those bikes, or that cyclist on the footpath. Don't know how good the audio is going to be on this section. We're heading towards Porthcothan, and the bus so far, absolutely perfect. Spot on.
We've walked all the way over from there, says Charlie. Well, I just thought I'd mention that if you want peace and quiet, this one man and his dog.
They went to my meadow, I thought, didn't they?
They've got the whole beach literally to themselves. So peace and quiet, just outside Newquay. If you want it, he's got the whole thing. Apart from us up there.
Yeah.
They say, ahoy!
Ahoy!
Ahoy! Oh, he's waving back from the sea.
We're a little bit further along, probably I'd say 1.5 miles in now. This is Beacon Cove apparently, but it's just a very, very scenic bit of the thing. I think I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 different caves. Completely unspoilt beach because there doesn't seem to be any access. It's quite nice when you see a beach and there's no footsteps or anything there, and it's just literally the wildlife and the rocks. There's a little stream following us here. And there was a little bridge just over there in the background. As Dad goes around and pulls off the edge. Not too bad going today so far. I'd say it's equally as scenic as yesterday. Well, this bit is, but yesterday definitely more scenic than the first day. I think we're in agreement, even though today is a bit more dull. Looking forward to having a little stop for coffee, maybe at the top here, and getting into Mawgan Porth, where the day's scheduled walking can start. This is all bonus on top of that. And it's a good job because it's only 12:57.
Cheers.
Oh, hello there.
Nice cup of tea as we look down on Mawgan Porth, which is where we were officially supposed to be starting today. It all got very complicated. All good today. It's a little bit breezy along here, but the scenery back up to a good solid 8 out of 10, I would say. If it was a sunny day, it'd probably be a 9 out of 10, but it's a little bit overcast. But
join us at Mawgan Porth at the end of the bonus bit. But you've got to do the shaky camera, do the bonus bit. So we've done our bonus 2.5 miles, 4.5 left to go. Why have we got so many clips of that dog food? Yeah, we've got 4.5 to Porthcothan via Bedruthan. What am I trying to say here? This would be a good bit to cut out. Oh yeah, the Beach Box Cafe. There was one at Harlem Bay. Well, I wonder how many they've got. I wonder if it's a small chain, if it's a bigger chain sort of thing. But yeah, anyway, Mawgan Porth, we're going on the beach now, and then in a minute or so we go up onto the dunes, just behind all the real rich people houses' gardens, which I'm sure they're really glad about. I'm sure they've been trying for years and years and years to get the public footpath closed. People like me aren't going to let that happen. Apparently it's a good windsurfing spot, which I find quite hard to believe, because it's quite sheltered really. Oh Hiya, we're about
Action.
Hiya. We're about 3/4 of the way up the hill out of Mawgan Porth. I reckon 4 miles left to go. And the sun has come out. Not tomorrow, but today. Lovely houses up here. I wouldn't say no to either of those three. I think they're three, or maybe it's just one person's super big house. You can look down over, I guess this is Mawgan Porth Bay. It's amazing the number of birds you see just floating in the sky. And they just sit there and their heads are on like a little gimbal. It's amazing that they manage to stay so still, and they just do that by altering the wings, literally altering the flaps. But anyway, I'm sure there's even more amazing scenery just around the corner. Yo, father.
Yo, yo. Once again, this is one of the delights of the coastal path, is literally around any corner might be something beautimous. And again, beautimousness is around the corner.
I promise it looks even better in person.
Do we know what this little cove is called that we're coming to?
I don't, but I'm sure it'll flash up on screen or in a voiceover momentarily. You can actually see the lighthouse as well.
Yes.
The sun's here now, but that's a lovely view over vaguely towards Newquay and vaguely out of this next bay, which might be, I don't think, it might be Bedruthen actually. This
I
bay.
can see a lighthouse that looks like a lighthouse that we saw, and I can also see two islands that look like two islands that we saw the other day.
Yeah.
So if we piece this puzzle together, it will all become apparent probably in an overlay and a zoom in on the map anytime, any moment now.
And a nice little place, if you were to pitch a tent, which is illegal because we're in the UK. I did say that would be perfect, but I've just realised it's quite quite boggy. I think you'd be a little bit soggy.
I'll pass on that.
You'll pass. You join us at Bedruthen Steps. You can see, hopefully, that the gate is shut, which is rather annoying. It looks like it's been shut for quite a while. There's no entry, unstable cliffs. It's really odd because we didn't know that any of this was shut or that this was nicely paved or anything. We knew it was quite a big sort of tourist attraction. But yeah, it's a nice looking beach. But it's a shame really that there's no way to safely get down there. But anyway, lots of old, I guess they're old big rocks sort of things that have tumbled into the sea over many, many years of landslides and unstableness. And you can see actually they've got some grid mesh netting here to sort of try and stop them crumbling, which has obviously been unsuccessful because nature will find a way, whatever happens. But it's really nicely paved, actually quite accessible for those who aren't able-bodied. I think you can make it most of the way down here, and we've actually added in some extra steps, so we've got to go back up that way. Yay! And yeah, I think there's about 2 3/4 of a mile left, it said on the sign up there, to Porthcothan.
Well, we're approaching the end of our third day of coast path walking. It is a little bit windier today, as you can probably tell, but hopefully you can hear what's going on. Over there to the distance, you can see the path where it goes just on the edge of the cliff. Hopefully that is where we're heading for today. So we've got probably a mile and a half to go for our walk that we've done today.
Would you say it's been a bit more windy?
I would say it's been very slightly more windy, just a tiny bit more windy. Let me just put my protective hood up. Hopefully about one more hour or so, maybe less, of walking, and then luxury of the Premier Inn.
And a very dramatic sky as well. Very dramatic.
So we've about half a mile left to go of our journey on day 3. We've sat down to have a little cup of tea at the most beautiful little spot that there is. A little tiny bit windy, but not too bad. Gosh, yeah, all of a sudden people are coming here. All of a sudden it's got windy now, starting filming.
Hello.
Hang on. Action.
So you can see sort of along there where those people are, they're starting to go up the coastal path that way. We found a place here, which is amazing. And we're just wondering how much it would cost per night in the peak season. Dad reckons £800 to £1,000 a night. And I reckon we might not be too far wrong.
But if it's affordable, we've decided that this will be where we have the family holiday this year. Look, come on guys. Come on.
We've finished, and what good timing is it? The next bus, if it weren't running today, we've just seen one going the other way, so it proves that double-deckers can get down this road today, unlike what Matey Boy said yesterday. But the bus timetable says 4:22, it should be at the Porthcothan Bay. It's now 4:15. the woman on the phone did assure me this morning that buses were running both directions, so that's all good. But a good day's walking, and now I believe we have linked up from, I can't remember what it's called, I'm sure it'll flash up on screen now, all the way to Padstow. So this is this little disjoint section of the path, and for Dad I think it goes all the way from Padstow to Redruth, but Dad did an extra day that neither I nor Ollie have done. Bonus day. But yeah, not too bad actually in terms of walking, including that little extra bonus mileage.
So about 4 or 5 hours, not too bad.
Anyway, I'm sure we'll check in either later today or tomorrow when we figure out what we're doing.
Cut.
Oh, cut.